Hi everyone, October 2025 Bitcoin forecast. So I already presented it to you on the 1st of October because I know that some of you are new and some of you have only the daily time frames. So the people who don't know the monthly time frames, just to comfort you, I presented the forecast here. It's not easy to, I deliberately didn't state it here with words because I'm trying to eliminate there are a lot of noobs on Twitter, and I'm trying to eliminate them. I deliberately don't like spoon feeding them because then I will have a following of beginners on Twitter, and that's the last thing I want because they require long explanations, and I'm not paid to do that. I don't need those people. Normally those are the kind of people who don't have money to buy anything, so I don't really need to foster those people to be facilitating them towards anything. They're like leeches. They'll just drain the fuck out of my energy and they never buy a single product. So that is why I have every single tweet you see is deliberately constructed in a way that you need to slow down and read it carefully. And also, to be a trader, you need to have that skill to be able to read the data and to be extracting information from the data. So this is the forecast here. This line here is clearly saying the forecast, and here is the forecast for October green closure. Okay, so for those of you who are new, this is the style that I have chosen to have because this is one of my strategies to eliminate people who struggle to understand data. They're not on a level, and unfortunately, in psychology, there is an experiment that has been replicated many times, and according to that experiment, the lowest level of intelligence in the group, if one person in a big group of many intelligent people, if there is only one person who is on a low level of intelligence, they lower the intelligence of the whole group, because the whole group, they have to start readjusting themselves and their explanations to match the level of understanding of that one person, and then the whole level drops. And I don't want to do that because we all have been in the crypto market now for a number of cycles, and we want to be now on a level that is way above beginner level, and I really don't want to attract those people in any way. So that is why my forecasts are not spoon feeding people and not the easiest to understand. They simply require a bit of thinking and a bit of engagement with the data, as simple as that. Okay, but you got the forecast here for the record, right? And then the reason for the delay of recording the video today is the 2nd of October, is because you know the previous video, you know the bottom dates that I gave, and you know that the price went in the opposite direction. So I had to sit down and examine my cycles to see what are those cycles that are in agreement with this upward move. So that is not a matter of 1 or 2 hours. That requires several days of research to be able to find out what is going on with the cycles. So that's how it goes with those fractals. It was accurate for some time, and suddenly in this section here it let me down. It has been accurate since 5th of August, this fractal. Since 5th of August, boom, look at that, the trend line exactly the same, and then suddenly here it deviated from the trend line. So I spent all of these days here while you were waiting for a forecast. I actually have been researching like mad in order to understand what is happening. In terms of monthly time frames, the most important for us to know is that is the monthly time frame closure, right? So first of all, I will comfort you about that, and then if we can nail some local moves, that will be a great bonus. I always aspire to do that because that is how I develop skills, and that's how I'm training myself to develop skills. There needs to be progress in everything that we do, and that is the only reason why I'm challenging myself to nail local moves. Otherwise, in terms of practical trading, I'm a hodler, as they say it, and then most of my clients are also hodlers. So all we need to know is that October is looking as a bull month. How and what exactly will happen, I'll try to figure it out. But we need to know the monthly closure. So the way I work, I've already given you my independent system on Twitter. This time I decided to share it. Normally I reserve this information only for the subscribers who have the monthly time frames forecast, but given that now we're heading up, actually it doesn't harm us if other people know that, and hopefully they'll open more long positions as well. So that's the reason why I shared it with the public. And then second reason is that I wanted also to comfort you, those of you who don't have the monthly time frames forecast and you only have the daily time frame forecast. Right, so in addition to this system is totally independent, my monthly time frames system. I actually have back tested several other aspects, several other cycles, in order to obtain a monthly time frame forecast, because one system is not enough for me. I have money in crypto. Every client that I have has money in crypto, so for that reason we need to have quite good evidence about the time frames. So starting with the Pluto cycle, which is running with the highest accuracy right now. So far, look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4 months has been accurate, and 1 month was inaccurate. It forecasted a red close of September, and it actually we closed on a green. So this cycle, right, not me, I forecasted a green close of September. If you check here, the September closure was green, and my monthly time frame forecast gave me 78% accuracy overall. 7 correct, 2 wrong for the first 9 months of the year. But this particular cycle is a separate confluence that forecasted a red September. We got a green September, and now it's forecasting a green closure of October, right? That's quite a robust cycle. This is now 4 out of 5 accurate so far, which is how many percent? That is 80% accuracy at the moment. Then we have another cycle, which is Chiron retrograde, and Chiron retrograde is giving a 78% historical probability that month number 3 after Chiron turns retrograde, which is October, will be closing on a green. So 78% probability that 30th of October will be higher than 30th of September. So if we have a look on the chart here, 30th of October will be higher than 30th of September. 30th of September is quite high, it's here. So that is now 2 cycles, 2 independent cycles of projecting higher closure of October to September. And then we have another cycle, which is the Saturn retrograde cycle. That cycle is forecasting that the 13th of October, because this cycle began from the 13th of July, so the counting here is not the full month, but it's actually half month. So 13th of October finalizes month number 3 from Saturn becoming retrograde, and it's forecasting that cycle number 3, month number 3 will be closing on a green. So 13th of October will be higher than 13th of September. Let's have a look here. So 13th of October will be higher than 13th of September. 13th of September was quite high. Here it is here. So again, that is a bullish forecast for at least the next 2 weeks of October. And then checking some other cycles. Mercury in zodiac cycle is not ready yet. Mercury is moving into Scorpio. I haven't finished it. In the next video I'll present these results to you. So far we're counting them. I quoted to you now 3 cycles, 3 independent cycles to my monthly time frame forecast, all of them stating the same, that we're heading for a green October, particularly closing. Mars in zodiac cycle, Mars in Scorpio is indecisive in terms of the month closure, so we cannot use that. A lot of 50-50 here. Venus in zodiac sign is making another statement that we have 71% historical probability that when Venus moves into Scorpio, which is in October, that it will be closing higher than the day of the entry. So it's entering on 23rd of September. 23rd of September is here, and it is projecting that by the end of Venus in Scorpio, which is the end of October, it's gonna be higher than 23rd of September. So that is cycle number 4 in addition to my forecast. Okay, and then moving. So if you're just a hodler like me, and if you're not trading futures, then this forecast is sufficient for you. You don't really need to know the local moves. And now I'm gonna try to nail some local moves. So I like to aspire to do that. So these are the fractals that I have for the moment. The orange fractal is always the eclipse fractal, because this has been accurate for most of the time. It carries on, I will never stop using the eclipse fractal. Sometimes it becomes inaccurate even for a whole month, and then it comes back accurate. So this fractal is always running. And then the other fractals are like the following. So this purple fractal is made from a very strong aspect between the Sun and Pluto, Sun square Pluto on 24th of October. So I have taken that whole fractal from this date to project us from 1st of October to project the monthly trend line. And then the only 2 other fractals that I have used are derived from the current aspects that are present at the moment. This is I wanted to show you, sorry to interrupt my thought, but I wanted to show you this cycle that it did project the 24th of September to be a bottom, but there was no way to know in advance that this would be a stronger cycle than the rest of the cycles. But I do have it here for the record. Okay. So if that is correct, then because we did bottom on the 25th, so that's very close to it, then according to this we should be making a local bottom on the 3rd of October. Highly unlikely. And then we make a top on the 9th of October according to this cycle. And then I will show you where I have extracted the 2 fractals from and why I have extracted exactly them. So I have extracted Mercury square Jupiter because we have something that happens very rarely, that we have a historical aspect that took place exactly on the same degrees. Very small difference of degrees, only 5-degree difference. That is quite rare. Usually crypto is quite young, so when you go back in time you can find the same aspect but on different degrees. So I cannot omit this from the fractals. So Mercury square Jupiter, the last time we had an aspect on the same degrees was on the 20th of September 2013, and that is the crazy fractal that I put on Twitter. So you know the cycle now. On Twitter I didn't report what cycle it is from. Okay, so it's going up, it makes a top. This particular fractal is making a top on the 10th of October, and then it heads down on the 13 very sharply. That's the historical performance. I'm not saying that will happen, but that's what happened last time when it was exactly on the same degrees, within 5 degrees difference. So that's one of the fractals, and then the second fractal that I've got, the blue fractal, is this one, Mercury opposition Chiron. And again, very luckily, last year we had this same aspect on very similar degrees. The difference is very small, only 4 degrees difference. So that is why I've taken that aspect as a fractal, and that is the blue fractal here. So what all of these fractals are saying is that we should be heading down any minute from now. So they're projecting the third and the fourth to be lower, and then they diverge. So the eclipse cycle and the white fractal here, cream fractal, are heading up from the fifth, whereas the blue fractal is making a bottom on the fifth. So we will know by the fifth, we will know which of these cycles is more powerful, and then we will know which we can trust. If you want this screenshot, DM me and I'll be very happy to send it to you. I don't want to share this publicly on Twitter. And if you want to have access to my chart, again, DM me and I'll be very happy to send you the link. I only want to send it to people who DM me, because some people just purchase my products and then I don't know what they do with my products, but they don't really keep in touch, and that is their right to do so. So I don't really want to be emailing hundreds of people if they're not using it. So DM me and I'll be very happy to share it with you. Okay, so because we have so many aspects in the next coming days, this is madness. If I have to put the fractals for all of these aspects, it will be complete madness. We will get lost. And also, I cannot generate some of these aspects anyway. I need a programmer to generate them. They're not easy to calculate. The 72 degree, the 144 degree, they're not easy to obtain. So for that reason, let's see what happens in the next 2-3 days. And by the 5th, we will know which of these fractals is the stronger fractal. You got my confluences for the monthly closure, that all of them are projecting, all of the cycles that I quoted to you are projecting green closures. And also, let's have a look at these fractals. These are independent fractals that are not from those cycles. By the way, those are from the aspects that are currently in operation. So let's see what they're projecting for the 30th of October. 31st, I mean, because this month has 31 days. So look, the purple fractal is closing higher in October. The blue fractal, 30th, oh, I haven't got it until the 31st, so I'll get it. If we follow this fractal, I will get for the 31st. 30th, it's kind of putting us at a risk because, yeah, this is 30th of September, so even the blue fractal is closing higher than September. This is 30th of September. Eclipse fractal is closing higher than September. And this fractal I have, because it's so crazy with this sharp dump on the 13th, I haven't actually obtained the rest of it. I want to see if it's accurate for this, and then if it is, I'll get the rest of this fractal. But at the moment, I don't know how this will close in October. So even the fractals that are obtained from completely different techniques that have nothing to do with those cycles that I quoted to you, even all of these fractals are projecting a green closure of October. So as hodlers, we have sufficient information about October. But if we want to nail local dates for those of you who are future traders, then it will take a bit more work and luck as well, because at the end of the day, I mean, how do we know which of these is going to be the strongest cycle? There is a lot of red here, so I do expect 3rd, 4th and 5th to be retracing, and we'll see what happens. But there is some green here as well, So mostly red. And then the people who have the daily time frames, you also know what else is happening here. On daily time frames, it's shaky the next few days as well. Very small percentages here of probabilities, so anything can happen. Also on gun dates, this week is supporting several bottoms, gun bottoms. The people who have the daily time frames have that edge. But on lunar days, we're heading towards a full moon, which is very bullish, always. So in terms of lunar days, the 4th and the 5th are high. And in terms of moon aspects, these are also high days. The 4th and the 5th are high days in terms of moon aspects. You see, these assessments here that I have made, they're purely based on moon aspects. So I don't know, I cannot really tell you which one will be dominating. That's what these fractals are for. They're giving us here the projections, and we just have to sit down and monitor. And with some luck, if we make a bottom here on the 5th, people will be able to enter their long positions. But you have to be careful, because this one is bottoming on 12th of October as well. So we will see. If we make a bottom on the 5th, then we trust the blue fractal and the purple fractal more. If the price action remains here on this level, then we trust these two fractals more. Okay everyone, so I'm gonna wrap up this video and I'll be back in touch with you soon. We have new ingresses of planets entering new signs, so we want to know how they have performed historically, and I'll be very happy to report the results to you in the next video in next week. Bye for now.